All right, welcome back to the Ben Brothers podcast. We got the Shibuya crossing on the TV. We got the Shibuya crossing on the TV. We got the Shibuya crossing. Don't you know me? Don't you know us? It's the Bad Brothers podcast. See, I made podcasts kind of sound like us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. That's what I like when people.
I believe they call it a slant rhyme.
You can't say slant eyes anymore.
Slant rhyme.
Oh, slant rhyme. And that is true. Thank you for bringing that terminology back into my life. What?
You know where I first learned slant rhyme? Poetry.
Sino?
Poetry in elementary school.
Oh. In elementary school?
Yeah, dog.
You're slant rhyming?
That was...
Give me one. Hit me. Dude, Grandma Norma died with my poems on her fridge. Actually, no, because we cleared out her house.
No, there was at one point in my life, I don't remember what grade it was.
I know a thing or two about poetry.
I did a poem for something. It was based on each letter of the alphabet. It could have been a whole series.
Dude, freaking, you sound like Ray Jennings the way you make freaking acrostics, rhymes, poetry.
It was like a little ditty for like A was alligators, and it was like alligator, I hate her, that bitch, something like that.
Oh, alligator, I hate her, that, and your EE coming, so you don't have to add, so you don't have to complete the thought. You go B, alligator, I hate her, that. That's bitch.
That's AA rhyme. That bitch.
That's
on its own.
No, B starts the B line.
Oh no, it was themed per letter of the alphabet.
That's what I'm saying.
This was 26 pages of poems.
1A. A whole
page dedicated
poem.
to A.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to the whole alphabet, one line per.
No.
Because I was going to see how fast you could do that.
No. A bitch. Damn. No, just kidding. Jeez. Demonetized. Every fucking. Just kidding. Can you add the beeps? Girth. Can you add the beeps?
Yes, I'll add some beep. Oh, I was going to say beef. Beeps. We have the beef. Me. But I mean beeps. Arby's. Burger King. Cane's. Domino's.
Yes.
Eggland's Best.
Fuddruckers. Godfathers.
I hate when I start laughing too much and then I just... do you ever just want to laugh and then you want to stop thinking?
Yeah, like
it's
that.
Like I got to F, and I just wanted to laugh about A, B, C, D, and E.
It's like that meme of Kanye West where he's laughing and then he just goes to straight face.
It's like, except opposite. It's like I wanted to be from straight face, and I wanted to stop and just laugh. I don't want to think of Godfathers.
Well, that's the freaking price we pay of
whatever
making
halal
other people
restaurant
laugh.
is next.
Shawarma truck that I've been hitting up on Tuesdays.
Yeah?
Bomb.
Dude, I love a good...
I never had a shawarma before this year.
What's the freaking balls that they have?
Falafel.
Yeah. Oh, love a falafel.
Well, this guy's falafel is off the chain.
Whoa.
But I like the beef.
You know what they need to add to freaking falafel?
Meat.
Sour cream.
Dude, this guy's got you covered. It's not sour cream, but it's some other creamy substance.
Yeah?
Some other white cream.
Well, that's the hard thing about the Asians is they have the lactose intolerance.
Yeah.
So there's not a bunch of D-A-I-R-Y in their foods.
Yeah. Or C-H-E-E-S-E.
Dude, but I love
Except
a sour
those hot
cream.
Except those Korean corn dogs.
We had some wild grain and chicken dish the other night,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what cuts it so perfect, even though it doesn't
A little
go
creme
with
fraiche.
it. Nah, sour cream.
We should try creme fraiche.
Not with this, but I know what you're saying. But no.
Well, yeah, that was like that freaking salmon toast I had at Wooden City with the creme fraiche. We talked about that, yeah.
Let's use that to springboard into what we need to
TikTok dance
for this episode, because you and I went out to eat, and our meal that we created. So during that week, we went out.
That's when we talked about it.
So we went out on a Friday, but that week for meals, speaking of bodily things that we were going to talk about, I have not been going to the gym for reasons, some physical reasons and some unphysical reasons. But that week I
have been unphysical.
I have made some like bomb like chicken stuff and mixed it all up. I made this freaking great sauce to put on it, and I was going to have it with my lunches. I didn't make it. But you know what I did the freaking day after I got back from our outing is
recreated our dinner.
I basically like recreated our dinner with some Asian infused
Pesto?
chicken bruschetta. It wasn't No. Our appetizer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Bruschetta.
Yeah, we had smoked salmon, bruschetta.
I freaking made some Asian bruschetta.
But I'll say it here now.
Roos-
Go to
Rooskies.
Wooden City in downtown Tacoma and get the smoked salmon toast while they still have it. Now,
I'm trying to create a story. You're talking about the Wooden City.
yeah, they have slices of
Folks,
smoked
this is how
salmon.
much he loves the Wooden City. He can't advance the podcast.
I might go there this week by myself because Lauren's out of town and just
it.
get the toast.
Oh, freaking going to... Whoever says going to a... whoever says there's something wrong with going to a restaurant by yourself does not freaking understand life.
You know, I do this like at least once a week.
Let's move on.
Okay.
What we really want to talk about...
We went out to dinner because we went to a comedy show to see Jeffrey Asmus.
Okay, let's start the day. We were together. I got to see the baby in the daytime, and she was so sweet. And so
She has a tooth.
she does.
Yes. Within a
Oh.
week, she started rolling over like a little roly-poly sausage, and she now has a little tooth cutting on the bottom right.
Isn't it so crazy, the milestones?
Oh, yeah.
You'll keep going with the milestones. But
Yeah, because I kept thinking, like, she's not rolling over. And she would, like, go, like, 90% of the way. And then all of a sudden, within 2 days, can't lay on her back for more than 2 minutes because she rolls over.
I know. And then you freaking go to the pediatrician, and they give you the checklist to see what they're doing at what age.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it is crazy, because I know I've said this on the podcast before, but my manager, she has a grandson who's the 1 month apart from Declan. And when they were babies, not now
Yeah.
that they're 6, but when they were babies, they were, you know, punching the clock on those milestones at the same time. And it was like amazing.
Yeah.
It's
I have
just
a coworker who's like a
weird.
month and a half ahead or 2 months ahead. And so she'll like post rolling
Yes.
over or crawling. And I'm like, I don't feel like she's never going to crawl. And then all of a sudden, the same thing happens.
I know. It's crazy. It's one
I
of the
just discovered
fascinating things
the-
about the brain.
I just discovered that.
Isn't our God amazing?
Yeah. Our God is higher. Our God is stronger. Just that's like the transition into worship. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just discovered the diver's reflex.
Won't you join us today?
Yeah. Join me in prayer as we get started.
Wherever you're listening from.
The diver's reflex. If you blow on the baby's nose and or upper lip,
No, did not watch. I freaking didn't have TikToks when I was having children, so no, I
Lauren
did not
discovered
see this.
it. Lauren discovered it on her own.
Oh, freaking!
And if you like blow on their nose, mouth area within the first year of their life, they take a big.
Wait, though, you have a chance.
they take a big, deep breath in.
If you. You have a chance. You have a chance.
I didn't say that.
If you're willing to find one of the many places to blow on your baby, if you can figure this, if you can find the magical spot in the first 12 months, if you find it within the first 12 months, you can
Make them take a big deep breath.
Wow.
Yeah, you go on their nose, and she goes.
Oh yeah, I like when they do that.
Well, maybe a reflex.
Maybe I did that. I should have put that in my journal. I would have thought. Dude,
but
imagine
I guess they
discovering
do that. They do that, and then they throw them in the water. You know when they do the water, the emergency.
Oh, bro.
And they do the.
Oh, no, not the emergency thing. But I found out Mom did freaking swimming with me when I was a baby.
When you were an infant?
Yeah, they freaking had baby swimming.
Or they throw you under the water to someone else?
Yeah, that was a fad then.
It was. And just like the emergency one.
Dude, Mom did it to me. I think that's what's up with my...
Water on the brain?
Yeah, that's why I got to poop first.
That's why the poop comes out first.
That's why the poop comes out before the pee. Because she threw me in the water.
Those emergency ones, like the falling in the pool training, is crazy.
Yeah. Freaking, they chuck the kid 20 feet out there.
And they're like, look here. Look
if
here.
something goes
above the water.
If honestly something goes wrong, nobody would be able to help them in time before they had brain damage.
Oh, yeah.
But they still throw them in their freaking baby J's and, New York Yankees jacket.
Yeah. The silk one. The big puffy silk one. Diver's reflex.
Blowing your babies out there.
We went out to see Jeffrey Asmus.
Oh man, there's some things I want to talk about. Let's skip the things we don't want to talk. Not skip, but let's just mention.
Let's start off with first.
Let's mention the things, and if we need to make a pit stop, we will.
Yeah, this is where it started. I'm sitting in Portland.
Oh, yeah, so I was not even going to mention this whole thing.
His story.
Gosh, what are we going to cut?
Watching the beginning. Watching his story about how he forgot his passport to go to Canada, and I look up from my phone.
$4,000.
Look up from my phone. He's across. He's like 20 feet away, but outside. I was at these little food carts where there's indoor seating and outdoor seating.
As Landon might say, bro is sitting right outside.
Oh my gosh, the bro talk.
Everything is freaking bro is. Bro just saw. Bro is thinking.
I told you about the guy on the train.
Can't believe that.
I told you about the guy who was like, bro, your accent's insane. Like, you sound Canadian. I'm like, where are you from? He's like, L.A. He's like, bro, it's just like so different, bro.
No, this is more like.
Shut the hell up, bitch.
This is like I'm freaking playing Mario Wonders. Yeah, I didn't tell you that I bought it. I'm saying it right now on the pod. I got it freaking Sunday, man. Eat that.
You've been tripping balls with those Wonder Seeds.
Yeah, dude. It's been getting dark and twisted fantasy up in here.
How about that elephant power up? It's OP.
Goosh with the trunk.
I know.
And what was I saying?
Bro.
Oh yeah.
Everything's bro.
So then if I do something in the freaking Mario game and then Landon's like, bro is like, whoa, everything is bro is like, and but it's something like I just did. It's like I eat a bite of my wild rice and chicken without sour cream, and I'm like, oh, this could use some sour cream. And Landon's like, bro was like, this could use some sour cream. It's like, everything's not bro is. I'm right here.
I'm tired
Dad,
of
it was funny when you said.
Tired of the every sentence ending in bro and starting.
Yeah, this is starting, ending, whatever it is. Freaking too many bros up in this.
Yeah.
Bro house. Broham.
Bauhaus.
Okay.
So the bro's sitting across from me.
Yeah,
at
bro's
the cart,
sitting there.
at the carts. So I start creaming my jeans and stuff.
How about that?
And so I walk out there and I say, Jeff.
Sup?
I go, Jeffrey? Just because I want to confirm.
Dude, you use his Christian name?
Yeah, he's a slave name. What else does he go by? That's what's on all of the medias.
I know.
And so he's like, hey.
And Easy has MDB?
He's like, he was having a rough day because of the whole Vancouver passport situation, I could tell. And I was like, hey, just saying hi. I said, I just saw your story about Vancouver. That sucks. I get it. So I work up there. And I said, I'm seeing you in Seattle tomorrow.
Did you get all this out before you even said hello? You probably said hi, but then...
Yeah, there was a little bit of back and forth.
Are you just giving me your side, or was it... Okay, how did you feel about this interaction? Did you feel like I talked a lot and he listened, or...
It felt decent. There was one thing I said that was awkward, and I forget what it was. I was kind of like...
Should we touch penises?
No, it was just like...
Doc.
Too much or lack of information. I forget which one it was.
Trains! I docked the trains.
Well, he didn't know about the trains, and that brings me to my next point is I say, all right, see you.
See what I do.
See you tomorrow.
See what I do.
And then I go to work that evening to Union Station in Portland, Oregon, and they're sitting on the bench sulking.
Too many Union stations.
They kind of ran the West Coast Railroad, so they get to. And
I'm more
there
of a
he
Confederate guy.
There's no Confederate station. They're sitting on the bench in the station.
South will rise again.
Jeffrey Asmus.
Oh, man.
And
you're kidding me.
I had seen when I was getting ready for work and logging back into all my work crap that the train, the previous train that comes from LA, which normally leaves before me, was like 6 hours late or something like that.
Delayed.
So delayed. So now it was coming, going to be there way after us. And then, so I went up to him to make sure that he transferred his ticket to my train.
Even the most minor apologies to Jeffrey Asmus, but dude, obviously, even the most minor celebrities are getting VIP treatment.
Yeah. So I made sure he got...
You didn't go up to freaking Linda Eubanks and ask her if she was okay.
Well, I had another D-list celebrity on my train on Saturday.
What?
Remind me.
Ray Romano?
Oh, much lower. TLC.
Tender Loving Care?
No, the...
Left Eye?
The TV show.
Oh.
I mean, the TV network.
Midget Family.
Less.
That's how... Babies?
Spouse of one of the families.
The
Paths.
John.
The Paths. The Path family.
Oh, I don't know them.
I didn't either until this weekend.
I thought you were going to say Kate plus 8, and then I was like,
no.
John is
They're
there?
not D-list. They're A-list.
You think so? Her haircut's A-list.
I'm just kidding.
He's a D-list.
So I went to him and I made sure he was on my train that was leaving before the previous one. He's like, I've been sitting here since 4 o'clock, which is when he should have been there to get on that train. I was like,
Yeesh.
I was like, oh shoot, I should have asked.
Did he recognize you? Did he?
Yeah,
Was he?
He did. I said, hey, it's Will from lunch. He goes, oh man, you work here or something like that. Because now I was in my conductor attire.
Didn't remember our conversation.
No, I didn't talk about the train at lunch.
Oh wow.
And that's why I said, I was like, oh, I should have asked you how you were getting to Seattle. This train's been late all day.
Oh,
it was like a known thing.
Now I see how you got Lauren with this way you have with people. Oh, I'm not revealing all my secrets at once. I'm slow. I
thought you meant like get her, like play a prank on her or something. And
it's me from earlier in the train. I'm the train guy.
I know. That's why I was kind of joking around.
I didn't sell you. I'm the train guy. I just told you I was a funny guy.
I'm not stalking you. But anyways, he's like, yeah, what happened? Like, he's like, I take the train all the time on the East Coast, which those are private, enclosed Amtrak tracks that don't have to deal with freight trains. And so
you draw them a diagram.
Yeah, so I was like, so there's some freight issue down in California. And then he's like, oh, some train car full of cows cross, he went all Midwest, and I just agreed.
Oh, he's working on his crowd work.
Yeah, working his bits. And
gotta write that down.
And anyways, he got on my...
We gotta talk about the show. We only
anyways,
have so
he got
time.
on my train, and he had a giant book. And I didn't really talk... Two giant books, and I didn't really talk to him after that. I just did a couple... I scanned his ticket, did one of these.
And so Will and I are getting excited for the thing. Yeah. And this is just some guy we know on TikTok. We don't know.
Yeah.
Funny.
He's a comedy seller, regular.
What did you think about him?
I still did not watch a special because I wanted it to be...
Oh. He didn't do any... Well, I shouldn't say anything. I don't remember anything from the special.
Well, I didn't want to take the chance.
But I remember I didn't watch any of his like TikToks or Reels or anything for the last like 2 months before the show.
Yeah, I wanted it to be... We had the tickets for a long time and wanted it to be fresh. I didn't watch a special that came out. I didn't want to be oversaturated.
I think it was just a funny TikTok guy that we...
Yeah.
But let's see.
Well, he's like a regular comedian. He's not like a TikTok comedian.
Oh, yeah.
He's a regular New York stand-up comedian.
But it was just somebody we found online, not like...
Yeah, we shared
any
his
connection
videos.
to.
Yeah. Oh, I was like...
Let's see. What do I like about him? I'll tell you what I like about him. I like... There's some religious stuff that he says is funny because he went to like a religious college and stuff, and maybe it was gonna be something, or he just has a lot of religious education. So he says
was like Catholic school, right?
Yeah, Catholic school. So he says some things that are like sort of obscure.
Yeah, he's very smart. He had the two giant books. He's very well read. He's a big history buff.
But he's very smart, and so like his crowd work where somebody will be like, oh, freaking your shirt's plaid and you're a dad? That rhymes, so you're an idiot. That's somebody's crowd work.
Yeah.
And this guy is like, I converted to Islam for my wife. And then Jeffrey Asmus will be like, oh, do you know the 5 pillars of Islam?
Yeah.
Like he does. Like, what are the main tenets of Islam? And this comedian knows them, and the guy who converted for his wife doesn't know them at all. And he's like, hey, so you just converted for pussy? And that to me is funny because he is learned in a way that allows him to make a joke that is surprising, obscure, something you've never heard before.
There was the one that went viral about him naming all the state capitals and Canadian province capitals, and he said it wasn't autism, it was like him just like being a nerd virgin or something. Incel. So he's funny, he's very well read, but he goes back and forth between like smart stuff to like stupid, kind of like grungier stuff.
Yeah,
goes back and forth. It's funny.
It's 5 pillars of Islam, and then it's some D&P jokes.
Yeah, but and I like that he like between every sort of like bit, and granted he did have the special come out, so he's kind of like starting over. He doesn't have a full hour that's just like a run through. But he would go in between, like talk to the crowd, do a few jokes, talk to the crowd, go back and forth. So it was very like felt very authentic and very like personable.
So if obviously a comedy show is like a monologue, and so you could say in most comedy shows there's an A player and there's no B player. Let's forget about the opener for a second because you have openers. But let's talk about the main show. There's an A player and there's really no B player. At our show, it was different because my brother, Will Browning, had made a connection with him.
Mm-hmm. And because no one showed up to the front row, even though the show was sold out.
And because we were on the second row, a.k.a. the first row for this. And so he's getting his full money, although the room doesn't feel as full. Will became the B player for the show. So that just made it more
And I don't remember how he remembered my name. I was impressed.
Dude, he's
when he called out the name.
Dude, he's got a thing for words. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
And he can remember all the Canadian provinces. He can remember a guy who he met earlier.
Yeah, yesterday.
It was the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, I was explaining it to people, it wasn't the the hardest I've ever laughed in my life, although I did laugh really hard.
It was the hardest I laughed at a comedy show.
Yeah, that might be true for me too. Actually, you know what? That might be true. It was the hardest sustained laughing over an hour for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went out afterwards, and even leaving the comedy show, my throat hurt so bad from laughing so hard the entire time.
And it was
I love the whole thing top to bottom.
I had the Eras Tour complex where I had some sort of like amnesia to what happened. I could hardly remember what the jokes were specifically, but it was like such a great time.
I know. It was the right mix of perfectly crafted things, because obviously he's smart, therefore he can craft a well-written joke. But the little things he says all between and that was just the thing. It was all the stuff. The fact that
he'd finish a bit and then the little commentary in between was still funny.
I think that's what kept the freaking ball rolling, where it never allowed my freaking throat to relax for 65 minutes.
That's what she said.
Dude. 60 freaking 9 minutes. And, yeah, dude, we went to that bar afterwards, and yeah, my throat was like I had been through 7 bronchiti.
TAE.
Freaking Mai Tais. I was having 7 Mai Tais, feeling like I had 7 bronchitis, and yeah, it was just funny the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
I was so glad we did that.
It was so good. So good.
I was worried it would be, I'll just say this, going in, I was worried it's just like, oh, here's a funny guy, like you said, comedian, not just a funny guy on TikTok, but that was our only, I hadn't listened to his podcast a ton. It wasn't like somebody who's like supremely established in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit like, am I going to be disappointed in the obscurity of this fellow?
And it was that new venue.
New venue at the Crocodile. And it was just funny.
It was just good. It was all good.
Let's talk about some things that happened in the night. And do you have any observations to make?
About the show specifically?
No, not about the show. Just anything that happened in the night. There was a couple funny things that happened in the night.
I might be blanking. I just remember it being so rainy and trying to drive safely.
Oh, you drove fine. Nobody was imbibed too much.
Yeah, what was something
everybody was
funny
everybody
that happened
was in their
besides the show?
mind. I felt like I was a little too into the girl with the stars on the beltline tattoo.
Yeah.
Star tattoos on the beltline, I mean.
Dick root stars.
DRSs. DRTs that were S's. And I've had this observation before in my own mind, but one thing about, I think is the ADD thing too, but it doesn't have to be ADD. But one thing about sort of having a clean lifestyle is that, especially as a teenager, is that somebody who has a sort of like, you might say, I'm just making
It's like a good Christian girl that wants a bad boy.
Exactly. I'm going to use the word dirty just as the opposite of clean. That I'm making no
Judgments on their sexual health. Assumptions.
No, there's a word assuage, but I'm not using it right. About this female, I mean, I could, based on the fellows she was with that evening. Speaking of fellows, but there was a girl who, she was wearing some knee-high boots that were red
leather jacket,
jeans, pleather boots, red. Let's say leather. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Leather jacket. A sort of crop top. I can't remember if it's tube or not. I wouldn't. Just cropped. It was up there.
Don't know because she had the jacket on.
She had the jacket on. Blonde, like ponytail, but slicked. What's it? It's like
I don't remember that, but yeah.
Dude,
I don't remember ponytail.
I remember it all. No,
but yeah, then crop top and not your normal 2023 Gen Z jeans that go up to under your boobs.
Oh, she was
rocking the Britney Spears low cuts.
Yeah, she was about 35, so she was rocking the Britney Spears,
the Abercrombie low cut
1999
jean.
Christina Aguilera DIRRRRTY jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And seen sitting upon the top of her pant line was 2 stars. And you know what the stars looks like. Everybody knows what the stars looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 5-pointed. She wasn't Jewish.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. But the stars were not. And it was the white on one part of the star and the black on the other.
Nautical.
Is that what that is?
I believe they're historically nautical stars.
Historically nautical. And welcome to the name of the podcast. And maybe I was in the moment. Maybe I was just loosey-goosey. But I was just having this not a revelation. I was just having a moment where out loud I spoke of the fact that it is sort of true that a clean lifestyle in some areas will enhance an enticement. Like I said, we're just making an antonym. A dirty lifestyle in other areas. And let's just say this female projected a dirty lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it projects something enticing onto my 14-year-old self.
Frontal cortex.
And I can't help that. It just is the way it is. It's just your life. At some point, you come to a realization. It's just like, was that the last episode about music, or was that this episode? Yeah.
Last episode.
And it's like, why I can't get away from liking that kind of.
Or was that this episode?
I can't.
I don't know.
I can't get away from music that has slant rhymes and years in them. It's like that was the music of my youth.
Were you into Stone Temple Pilots?
There's some songs I like. I can't say I was ever into them because my parents had me living a clean lifestyle.
Why does that girl do it for you but not for me, but then some girl with the big Jew nose does it for me.
Ugh. Yeah, then we started sharing other characteristics, and Will brings up a conventionally pretty person. Pretty, I agreed pretty, but I would say conventionally, and just has an elongated schnoz. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. What is it?
Well, that kind of brings up the D-list celebrity that I saw.
Nobody knows.
Continue on.
I mean, just like, not just like, because I don't want to bring your baby into this, but the thing that fascinates me about having a kid is really sort of like the brain development. And this is popping, and this is popping, and this is learning, and this is changing. And like what sinks in and stays in their brain, and what matters to their brain, and what sort of like becomes an anchor in their psyche and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the fascinating part to me.
I think about that now with like having a kid. It's like, what like little things are going to happen in the next 5 years that are going to be like the core, build her core brain.
Yeah, a freaking canon event.
Yeah. Canon event, core memory. What was that Disney movie?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Is that the one?
The elephant?
The elephant guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what was the other one with the different like there was the anger and the sadness? Is that the same movie?
Inside Out, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The core memories.
She had to leave him behind. Remember they shot up in the rock and
he's like, go do the thing.
Yeah.
I forget what he said.
Play hockey.
Yeah.
That's what the girl's doing, remember? Tryouts.
No, I don't.
That's what the real life people are doing, not the emotions.
I don't remember.
The mom wants her. It's the sexy dad.
I don't remember.
The mustache?
I don't remember.
How can a cartoon be sexy?
Nope. Don't remember.
And he doesn't even have a sexy bod. He has a dad bod and he's a cartoon, and yet we're in love with him
That's
somehow.
sexy, just like the fox in Robin Hood.
Dude, even I'm a kid. Let's name a couple things. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
I'm a boy.
Yeah.
I'm a humanoid, and still I can understand the fox is sexy. How do I know that?
Yeah, why is the rabbit in Space Jam the girl?
Bunny tits.
Yeah. Why aren't there 6 of them? Anyways.
Why isn't there 6 lumps under her jersey?
The other funny thing of the show that didn't have to do with the comedian is Adam, who moved down to the front row, also got asked some crowd work questions.
I've been thinking about Adam ever since. I can't stop thinking about Adam, and I told you I wasn't going to be able to stop thinking about Adam, and I knew it, and it has come true.
Any question he was asked, whether it be a yes or no question or otherwise, he could not give a straight answer. And sometimes he'd even give an answer, and then there'd be like a 2-second pause, and then he would give a subsequent sequitur that make it not a straight answer.
Adam, do you listen to music when you have sexual intercourse? Yeah. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes not.
Not lately.
Adam, do you brush your teeth? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Adam, do you think, whatever, everything would be, even if it wasn't yes or no, he would end up describing it in a way that was both sides of whatever thing.
Yeah.
And I just have to think, was he trying to this is what I think. And I was thinking it when I was there. Does Adam want to please? Is Adam a people pleaser in general?
He is a masseuse.
He's a masseuse by trade. Does Adam people please in general? And therefore, he feels like whatever questions Jeffrey Asmus asks him that he wants to have the right answer to, and therefore doesn't want to give the wrong answer, so therefore gives both. Does he want to please Jeffrey? Is he's not a people pleaser, but wants to please Jeffrey Asmus specifically because he has some sort of affection for him, and he doesn't have a people-pleasing nature in general, but just towards people he cares about. Does he have an accommodating nature? You might say it's different from people-pleasing, but you might say an accommodating nature, and I think this is kind of true, where you sort of have an overwhelming kindness. Maybe you have I would say a kindness gene versus anxiety gene. You could both call people pleasing, but I'm going to make a differentiation as in a kindness gene. And so he wants to give the answer that Jeffrey Asmus wants to hear. Or insecurities or whatever. There's a million things it could be.
I really didn't mean to like cause a ruckus or I wasn't trying to be
dude
funny.
You almost caused a fracas.
I know. I wasn't trying. Wild rumpus. I wasn't trying. You remember what that's from?
No, but again, it's just the words being funny.
What was that children's book about the monsters?
Just
where the wild things are.
Rumpus is the word?
Yeah, he says, "Let the wild rumpus begin."
That's funny. You know when you said wild rumpus, you know what I thought of?
Krampus.
Krampus? No, I thought
Crumping.
of crunking.
That's crumping.
What?
That's with a P. The dancing. Yeah.
No.
Crumping.
But crunking is also a thing.
Getting crunk? Crazy drunk? Crumping.
You're wrong.
You're thinking about the dancing.
There's a dancing that's crunking.
With the P. This it's like... Anyway.
We'll talk about this later because this will get us off track. But I thought of Splash Mountain. Rumpus.
Oh, I don't know.
It seems like something they'd say on
the Southern Song or whatever.
Oh,
the Southern Tale.
They changed it. I haven't been there.
Me neither.
Comment on the podcast Instagram if you've
heard the new song.
Heard the new song.
Taylor's version. The Southern Championship.
Red and yellow, black and white. Meanwhile, they're defining people by...
Wait, isn't that little Small World after all?
They are precious in his sight. Jesus loves...
Yeah, they say yellow.
Those are the categories. Native American, Chinese, black, and white.
Yeah. What else is there?
I mean...
I'm just kidding. Kidding. So I wasn't intentionally trying to make any sort of ruckus when he asked me if I was a feminist or whatever. Isn't that what he said?
Early, that was I think that might have been the initial question he asked you.
No.
It was early in the show.
No. It was it was in the second half.
No, you redeemed yourself after
second half.
The first half easily.
It was after you got called the older brother.
Oh, that gave me a complex.
That's why you shaved your head?
No, I had shaved before we
You
went.
burned all of your page boy hats.
This.
You had it on. Anyway, he asked me if I was a feminist. I went, eh. And then the crowd, the Seattle libtards went, ooh.
Blue-haired libtards always like, bleh. I didn't see many blue-haired.
No.
There's a lot of middle age.
They were a little slightly older. But we're slightly older.
Will got a nice pat on the shoulder when the show was over.
Yeah. Said shout out to Will and whatever, and some random person pat me on the back.
A lady who was with a man.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything about the interaction, and I'm truly not putting a judgment. I'm really not putting a judgment. I'm just putting myself in the place of, just making an objective observation.
Mm-hmm.
If we were at a show, and
You and the Tam.
me and Tam, and we did not know anybody there,
Yep.
and it just happened to be the joy of the show.
Yes.
And she makes a point to make physical contact with a man on the row in front of her for literally no reason other than his name was mentioned during the show. You didn't make jokes.
Nope. I tried to make it a point not to make
There
jokes.
was a comedian there making jokes for an hour. And she took the time to make physical contact with you?
Yeah, she gave me a nice shoulder pat.
It was literally that, just a pat on the shoulder. I'm not making any aspersions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what I was trying to say earlier. Can't remember now. I would consider that Class A felony.
Directly to jail.
Directly to jail, doesn't get a vote again.
Why'd we let him vote in the first place?
I mean, it was strange.
It was strange.
Physical contact?
Yeah. In these trying times, COVID and everything.
I would rather her touch you in the small of your back outside in the lobby and say, wasn't that so funny? Rather than touch your shoulder right then in the...
Really?
I think so. Because this could be interpreted like, oh my gosh, hilarious.
No, I have to touch his robe.
Dude, she was reaching for the hem of your garments as if you were going to heal her.
Yeah. Which I was.
As if you had some magical powers flowing through those broad
Yeah, she wanted to
shoulders
be.
of yours.
She wanted to be up. Do I have broad shoulders?
Browning broads.
Do I have broad shoulders? Because sometimes I put on shirts and coats and it's like restricting.
Some people would say like, "Oh, hey, how are the Browning broads?" And I'm like, "Are you talking about Lauren and Tammy? Or are you talking about the shoulders of my brother and I?"
The Lauren and Tammy are just imposters. The only real Browning broad is Isla. The first in generations.
Yeah. Welcome.
But yeah, that was weird.
I know, it was just... Anyways, then we went out afterwards, and... Dude,
Yeah, it was a little busy. It was
fine. It was
in my sort of work being not a Monday to Friday work. And then also during COVID, I got used to not going places on the weekends. And so now when I go places on the weekends, I'm like, who are these people?
That's your problem. Yep.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
I
It was
just
fine.
like, oh, I have to
It
wait.
was busy.
I have to wait in line.
It was busy, but it smelled so good in there.
Oh my
Freaking
gosh,
Doesn't
yeah.
even matter how many people were there.
Yeah, we went to Navy Strength down there in Belltown. Kind of tiki-esque themed bar. And then they also do some holiday themes, and it was Halloween themed. And they also do
so much fake spiderweb in there.
They have done in the past an epic Christmas themed bar as well.
I thought it was fine. It was really just like...
No, it was fine.
The only problem with that is my throat hurts so much from laughing.
I didn't realize your throat hurt so bad.
I didn't know how to talk appropriately in there.
Yeah, it was pretty loud. But yeah.
And
Then we discovered a bar you could smoke in.
And why were the olives so olivey on those freaking nachos?
I don't remember.
That's the only thing I did not appreciate about the place is that the olives were very wet Converse shoey.
Wet canvas?
I'm not a big olive guy.
Oh, yeah?
In any sense of the word. And they were maybe overwhelming to me.
You don't like Popeye's girlfriend?
Dude, that was a clue in our crossword the other night because it was all about drinks.
Yeah.
and it was all about martinis.
Yeah.
And E.B. White said something about martinis are about quietude. And then one clue was how Popeye might ask for his or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Extra olive.
Oh.
That was the answer.
Olive oil.
EXTRAOLIVE.
Fun.
37 down. Hello.
Then there was what's her name that also played in The Shining. She also played Olive. Good times.
Freaky lady. All in all, what did you feel about the night?
I thought it was
Great restaurant plan. We went to a couple. Wait, I never settled with you.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's not do it on the pod. Too much pressure.
$500.
Anyways, some places we stopped at.
Oh, you stopped at my work watering hole. Saw my coworker. Went to dinner. Went to the show. Went to Navy Strength. Went to, what was that place called? It was like the Clown Pinball Bar.
Yep, that was cool. I showed Landon the picture of the pinball tables and stuff.
Yeah, those were cool.
The tables were freaking pinball, like
old pinball machines.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Belltown did all right. There weren't too many crazies.
The rain stayed away. It was just all around a good night.
Yeah. Came back to the res and went on to a smoking bar and watched the end of the Colorado game.
Lost to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
After I didn't realize, because we came at the end.
Yeah, they were up like 30-some points.
They were up like something to zip at halftime.
Yeah. And lost.
Can't believe that. And, yeah, it was just a good night all around.
Yeah, it was a real
good to have
banger.
Good to have a date night. And, wow, fulfilling.
It was. Everything I expected. Exceeded expectations, actually.
Exceeded expectations. Dude, we didn't get to any topics. So we'll have to save them for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to hit?
I feel like you could almost split this into two shorties.
Anyway, we got some things last week. Some things I'll be irritated about in there this week.
Mm-hmm.
AI boobs. Okay.
You did that.
I know. AI boobs. Oh, simple pleasures. We didn't do any simple pleasures, but I felt like we were talking positively enough about enough things where we didn't need to
Going to a restaurant by yourself.
We didn't need to
simple pleasure.
Laughing.
Yeah.
Finally laughing.
I know I've been making a lot of like depression/suicide jokes lately, and I feel like I should stop.
No, those are the best kind. Because it's like, what is Norm Macdonald's like? It's like, what do you live in it?
Oh yeah,
he says something like
some sort of
like
Candyland world.
He says like I can't imagine. It's like, what is it? Somebody commits suicide or something, and they're like, I can't even wrap my head around.
Yeah, how could they do that?
Yeah, how could they do that? It's like, what do you live in, a cotton candy house or whatever? Yeah. You know what? It's okay to acknowledge the more disappointing, challenging, frustrating things about life, because to me they make love us. To me they make the sweeter things.
Yeah.
Dude, darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's what I say.
You gotta have your ups to have your downs, or else it's all just flat.
Then when I go out with my bro and we laugh all night and have a great and silly night,
yeah. And if you feel like
it
you're
just feels
not
good.
And if you feel like you're not going out and having a good time and feeling good, just dial 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. There's people available 24 hours a day, English, Spanish, wherever you need help.
Portuguese?
If you do speak Portuguese, you can go to cvv.org. That's the Brazilian.
Oh, thank you. Brazilians, please go to and other Portuguese.
Or go
speakers.
to sosvosamiga.org for the Portugal SOS help hotline.
Excuse me, sir. I only have rotary. Whoa, what accent was that? I only have a rotary phone.
It's confidential. It supports people in distress, prevention and crisis resources for you and loved ones, and best practices for professionals in the United States. So,
Breast practices.
best practices.
Thank you. I can make fun of something you said because that's how we started our night here in your house. And
Yep.
any last words?
Only that there is a separate section for Black mental health.
We can't end on that.
This is what I read.
Okay.
Last words. Cut that.
What if your last words were really your last words? Like, what if I said any last words and then you were like,
And then I just.
I love you.
What, British now?
I love Jeffrey Asmus.
Yeah.
And then you died.
Yeah.
Those were the last words of your life.
I think about it all the time when I say goodbye to Lauren and Isla.
I don't.
I say, well, I better say I love you because that could be the last thing they hear.
Ugh. You think? That's like Tammy. It's like if you need me to say that, and I die, and you don't realize that I love you because it wasn't the last thing you heard out of my mouth. You need to freaking get a grip.
Yeah, that's just what I think.